John Wood, the CEO of Healthcare Alliance North America, based in Asheville, North Carolina. And I have the pleasure of sitting with an old friend, a colleague, and someone I super respect clinically within our field, and that we are so blessed to have back on our team, Jeremy Stalls.
Yeah, I'm Jeremy Stalls. I'm the Director of Client Experience at HCANA. Super excited to be having this conversation. It's been a journey.
It's been a wild journey.
I was sitting here thinking, I can picture the first time I met you. I came into interview.
I can feel the emotions of it still.
I came into the interview and I remember leaving, and I honestly was like, man, he's pretty grandiose. And he's got a lot of audacity. But I remember thinking, I was like, but for some reason, I believe what he just said.
Yeah.
Which was strange, because typically when people are that optimistic about like the vision that they have, I'm like, a bit skeptical. But I remember, and I remember telling myself, I was like, I want to work here.
That's amazing. Yeah, it was interesting from that first interview. For me, like, credentials weren't the most important thing, right? For me, it was building a super team. Whoever had the heart and the energy and the willing to learn more about their craft. That's been the most impressive thing that I was right about you. Yeah. You came in with this energy and passion that you could go sit with anyone and talk to them, and they'd be able to feel that. And for me, like, I knew within the first 2 minutes, normally it takes me 5 minutes, that I wanted to work with you. Yeah. Right? And it was interesting because, our head of the IOP program, which you started with us at, gave me a long email after our interview letting me know, hey, this isn't the person, right? Yeah. And I remember getting that email and chuckling a little bit, and letting that person know you just have to have faith. Yeah. What we're doing here is building a clinical super team to give clients a different experience. And I'll tell you right now, from my first impression, Jeremy's not only going to contribute, he's going to help lead that journey.
Yeah, no, that was my first like real shot in this field. I had worked in it before, but that for a while.
A couple different spots,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I remember I still poke fun at her for that, and she's actually come to be one of my biggest fans. But
100%, like within like 2 weeks.
Yeah. I still poke fun at her about trying to block me getting a job. So we very much bonded over it. Yeah.
It didn't come out for a while, but then when it did, it was so therapeutic for you too.
Oh, it was wonderful. And man, since then, it's what a journey. What a journey it's been.
Yeah. Just looking at Oasis too as a whole, from when you joined the organization, we were coming to a point where we had a good clinical team. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had Vernon Leeser leading the front. You can't beat that. No. There's not another person that I've met nationally, and I go and meet a lot of places, a lot of centers, a lot of clinical directors, and they talk great. The words sound good. But with Vern, it's the heart, it's the feeling. And to put you guys together, you being a person, a seeker of knowledge, and I don't know how deep you want to get into this, but from my understanding, like, even when you were in your addiction, you were a seeker of knowledge, and I don't know if that's true or not, but like, I feel like you're the type of person still reading books, still trying to figure things out, still trying to figure out what life is. Yeah. While addicted, and I don't know, I've been so impressed from, when was that? I mean, we're talking 5-6 years ago now.
2019, early 2019.
Gosh, yeah, 6 years ago. Yeah. 6.5 years practically.
It feels like with everything that's happened, honestly, it feels like a decade.
It does.
It's gone by super fast, but looking at the scale of like the different things that we've done, it doesn't. It's hard to digest that we did that many different things in such a relative short time period.
Yep. And it's interesting, the battles that I've had to kind of fight on my side to push through. To keep us afloat, to have these things happen. And how much during that time, like, bro, you just stayed creative, right? Because one thing I'd like to explain to anyone listening out there is that Jeremy Stalls to me has always been a partner. He's been the dude that I've leaned on. I mean, we used to be workout buddies. I used to pick his brain. I've used Jeremy for personal therapy before. Like, just phone a friend that I know is going to be stable and be like, bro, I need a FaceTime for an hour right now. I got some stuff going on, and he's always been there for me. So it's been not only colleagues that really respect each other, in my opinion, on both sides, but it's been a friendship. And, gosh, just watching the evolution of the program from when Jeremy joined, and at first what he did with our adventure program, like, just unreal for those clients. And I hope some of those clients are out there seeing this, like, seeing that we're back working together again.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those clients from back in the day are still very much sober.
Yeah.
I don't know, how much contact do you have with some of our OG clients, 19, 20, 21, when you were on the clinical team?
Oh, I get sporadically. I get regular random messages. I got one, the wildest one that I got. I'll tell you about a recent one, but I want to tell you the wildest one I got. I got a random text message out of nowhere.
Okay.
If I were to venture guesses about where clients would end up, you could give me 1,000,000 guesses and I never would have hit this one. This guy was living in China.
Okay.
He was riding a jet ski in there's an old 90s movie called Waterworld. Apparently there's a Waterworld theme park, and he is a stunt driver on a jet ski at a Waterworld theme park in China, still in recovery, and just ran. And he sent me pictures of him in the show. That was interesting because I never would have guessed someone would end up there. But probably the most meaningful one in a long series.
And so that guy came to us in rough shape.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, he was shattered.
Yeah, most clients do, and that's something that's so important for everyone to understand. It's like, we do not expect you to be whole.
No.
When you come to us.
No. We don't even. The thing I love about our program, and this is a context that I always factor in. If you think about a bell curve, the outliers are people who absolutely don't even want to consider anything about recovery on one end.
Correct.
And then you have the people on the other end that they're so driven, they're going to basically be successful no matter where they go and what they do. Those are the extreme outliers.
Extremes.
Yes,
right.
two extremes.
Small percentages on both sides.
Correct. The bulk of clients, in my experience, are people who want recovery. And I try to approach.
Such a good way to put it.
I try to approach everyone that way. And my point is, like, you don't have to necessarily want recovery.
Not at first.
Most people don't, actually.
No, not
most
at first.
people
You
do
don't.
not.
Yeah.
And I love that that's the approach that we take. Is I don't meet you expecting you to, be a recovery cheerleader right out of the gate, because statistically that is not where most people operate from initially.
I feel like it'd be, especially for maybe impossible, right?
Yeah.
If you, like, thinking about 9.5 years ago now, me getting sober, coming up on 10 in a couple months, zero opiates. It's just an incredible thing for me.
Yeah.
But did I want it so bad? But was I so conflicted? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when you don't have the self-confidence, when you don't know what you can do to build that back, when you don't have any self-worth, when you feel like you've screwed different things up in your life you can't bounce back from, like, there's just so much guilt and shame that we put on ourselves. Not even society anymore, even that there is a little bit of stigma still, a little bit. But it's like, no. So when I put myself in their shoes, it's like, they're perfect.
Yeah.
Even if they tell me they don't want to be there, they don't want to stay sober first couple of weeks. Yeah. That's our job. Our job is to give them some sort of cognition or realization that they're willing to dive into the work with you guys.
Yeah, I think about just the the sheer magnitude of like what recovery is calling on people to do. The change is so complex.
Yeah.
It's understandable that people are ambivalent about it. First of all, I mean, without a frame of reference.
How'd you know?
Yeah, and then when you hear about it, it's like, well, it's overwhelming. So I totally agree. But I do want to talk about. So I got a call.
Yeah.
About. It was in May.
And when was the client with us?
2021. So it's been 4 years.
All right.
And random call, and I had not heard from this client since he left. At all.
But he had your number saved.
Yes, he had my number saved.
Specifically.
So he calls me and says, I have fantastic news. In a little under 3 hours, I'm going to be graduating from the University of Alabama.
Right.
And he talked about on a hike, just me staying with him and encouraging him to keep going was like the beginning of his journey. I was done for.
That's the
I was
point.
done
He had
for.
That cognition.
Well, the thing that really hit me was, here this guy is 4 years later, and what might prove to be one of the more meaningful days of his life, and what was on his heart was to call someone who worked at Oasis.
That's incredible.
After
3
years.
hours before graduating.
Yes.
And he thought back specifically to a hike that he was on where he had a moment of hope.
He had an experience.
Yeah, he had an experience, and then building off that experience. Yeah.
I was done for it. I was a mess.
Yeah.
I was a mess.
Oh, bro, I bet.
I was done for
it.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because, like, not everyone's ready. Some people are even somewhat forced by the legal system, family dynamics, things like that, to come to treatment, right? And just a lot of people aren't ready. And then, so we'll have some people that don't make it, right? That are not successful.
Yeah.
But if we can just get a scotch, I like to say, give me 5%, right? Give me 5% of willingness to hope that what we're doing can be successful for you too.
Yeah.
Because look at these folks that's been successful. Like this guy, graduating from Alabama, right? Do we know what degree he graduated with? English major. And what's his plans now?
Teacher.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, but that's all because we never know where these people are going to go, what they're going to do. And it's our job to help them get to where they want to go.
Yeah, and I think we're really good at getting seeds in the ground. I mean, the thing I love about us is we don't, and a lot of people do variations of this, but a lot of people say they do and they don't. But I appreciate how we meet people where they're at.
100%.
100%. And,
even if they're in psychosis.
Well, the word individualized is kind of
cliche
thrown
now.
around.
Yeah, it's so cliche now.
But, thinking about there's just so many aspects of who a person is. Just going to, you and I, Vern and I talked about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You were born in California.
Correct.
I was born in Virginia.
Correct.
Right there, just that one detail tells me that in all likelihood, we grew up in very different cultures.
For sure.
100%. So
100%.
right there, you and I are very similar age. We're both white men.
Yep.
But then you get underneath that, you start looking at these different contexts that make up who John is and who Jeremy is. And that's the thing with our clients. We consider that. And, where were our parents born?
Yeah.
If they were born different places. That means even furthermore, more
Did they
different
stay together?
cultural.
Did they split up? Were they alcoholics? Were they addicts? Were they not? And then the whole story through, even going through high school, then, early adulthood, it's like all those experiences are so much different for you and I.
Yeah.
Well,
if we don't factor that into our clients' experience, then we're doing them a disservice. Which is why, the sheer complexity of being a human being in this world, to me, that
especially right now.
Well, especially right now, it's a circus out there.
It is.
But the complexity of it, it basically precludes the possibility of a universal approach existing.
There's not one that's going to work for everyone.
No.
There's not a religion that's going to work for everyone.
No.
There's AA is not going to work for everyone. NA is not going to work for everyone. Refuge recovery, smart recovery, these things aren't going to work for everyone. But for some people, some of those things will work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The thing that I got frustrated about with treatment, I think why I really started with absolutely no knowledge, was that it did not ever feel individualized. It didn't ever really feel about the staff, right? Yeah. It's just like, let's check the boxes to fill the spots so we can send the billing code off. Yeah. And I'm not trying to knock anybody, because there's so many good treatment centers in the U.S. You know this probably more than me, because you've traveled all over. I mean, Jeremy had opportunities in California, opportunities in other places in North Carolina, people offering him ownership, all these things because of the amazing clinician and person like you've become due to your work. That's why you've had all these opportunities. But even in our time together, Jeremy just started as a very entry-level clinician with us, right? It's like,
I still remember my first salary too.
Yeah. And what was it? Let's just talk about it.
$38K a year.
$38,000 a year, and that's back in 2019.
Zero experience.
Zero experience. I mean,
just freshly with a few letters behind my name.
Yep. And the thing is, some of the places that you had worked at prior, I think, tainted your idea, or I don't know, and you can speak to this more than me, but it might have tainted your idea of working within treatment. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But
I don't know that it tainted it, but it certainly didn't energize me to continue on, until like when I got to Oasis, I really discovered it's like, okay, this could be. I actually, coming into treatment, I actually went through a grief period because I came in with all this idealism.
Yes.
And
just like me.
And no one ever sold me that. I adopted it myself.
Right.
So I came into the industry with these lofty ideals, and they're great is in terms of ideals to strive towards. Yep. But like in the real world, I don't know, they often, don't exist. And I think the thing that I liked about, that I continue to like about us, you know me, I can't be a snake oil salesman.
Nope.
I will not pretend that we have somehow cracked the code of addiction.
No, of course not.
We're very good at meeting people where they are.
Correct.
Assessing where that is, and then walking with them on their journey and getting them to where they want to go.
Yep.
But a lot of the treatment industry prior to that, and after that too, a lot of it feels like selling snake oil, like a carnival barker trying to get people to come into the tent.
Yeah, try one stuffed animal, right?
Yeah.
Give me $20.
Yeah.
See if you're making that basket. It's bent.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah. So like the grid system for me doesn't work. A 30-day grid system to where everyone's on the same track, same classes, everyone's doing the same thing. They're gonna have success because a lot of those groups are good. But I don't know what percentage of those clients are gonna have success. What we do is first of all, we don't set a time frame, right? It's as long as it takes. Sure, on the detox level of care, we can guarantee it's normally around 7 to 14 days. Yeah. Residential is similar, but then when you get to the other phases, like the PHP, coaching, life coaching, and that's another segment with Jeremy that he brought to life as I kind of failed in putting together something that I thought was so valuable. Was a coaching program, something ancillary of, therapy, case management, being a part of a community, but having that one-on-one person that's more life and sober coaching, and having that one-on-one time was so important to me.
Yeah.
But that was the first time when we shifted from watching you be such a huge member of our team on the clinical side to you approaching me with like, hey man, I can do this, right? And I don't know if you remember what I said, but
yeah, you were immediately like, I
let's
love
get
that.
I think I said let's get the paperwork done.
Yeah.
So at that point we were partners, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking 50-50 or somewhere in that ballpark. Like we were partners.
Yeah.
On the coaching side, and Jeremy ran the entire coaching program for us for how long?
2 years.
And he hired incredible people under him.
Yeah.
People that were also passionate, people that also
Yeah.
showed up with a pure heart and wanted to help people. And during that 2-year stretch, the coaching that was done was world class.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I didn't even think was possible. Like, I'm the most optimistic person in the world.
Yeah.
Like when you call me and you're telling me this client decides he wants to go overseas, right, and do a 2-week trip after his treatment,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to go.
Yeah.
This person needs someone to reintegrate him back into life for a month when he goes back to New York because he's got a big job and he doesn't know how he's going to react. I'm willing to go. That's always been Jeremy. I'm willing to do it. And it's not normally me asking. It's more like, hey, Jeremy will come to me and be like, I got this idea. These are my favorite people to work with. I got this idea because the thing is, you're in the trenches, bro, right? And I try to get back in the trenches as much as possible. But from the trenches is where you can find what we need to change.
Yeah.
What might work. And I just can't give enough praise to that coaching program. And the only reason it came to the end is because it made sense. Like, Jeremy had a huge opportunity on paper, right, that I encouraged him to take.
Yeah.
I
remember you were bummed, but
dude, bro. Like after that meeting, I set my office like this.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do?
But you were supportive. I
very,
remember that.
very supportive. Yeah. And we adapted, right? We switched our coaching program up. We tried some different things, and our coaching program right now is good.
Yeah.
It's not great in my opinion, but it's very good.
Yeah.
And it's a part of treatment that's missed.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah. No. And that season of my journey was really, it's so funny. There's this book, pretty famous, called The Alchemist, where it's basically this kid goes on a journey looking for something, this priceless treasure, and he goes through all these challenges and adversity, and then arrives back home and he realizes that it was the journey and the way that it changed him that was the treasure. That's kind of been like this last season of my life, to come back to Asheville and see this city with like new eyes, see my relationships with new eyes. I mean, that's what that was about for me. And it's felt super meaningful, and in the way we kind of really like collided back into each other randomly.
Yeah, so nothing's random.
And then
it's the universe working for us.
Well, you texted me. I remember you said, call me. That was the end of one text. The next text was, I have an idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. I said, when John has ideas, I'm usually curious. So that's
and that was literally, so he's over visiting friends, right? I just was randomly popping over to Oasis, check on Brian, our operations director, who's incredible himself, but
rockstar.
Rockstar, giving him support, giving him some love, and then I wanted to go check on our clinicians upstairs, and come to find out, there's my man Jeremy Stalls sitting there chatting with Vern, and I'm like, interesting, you know what I mean? So I had the chance in that moment, not scheduled, not planned, to pick your brain, see where you're at, what's going on in your life, and then since that moment that I saw you again, my brain was just firing all cylinders.
Yeah.
It's like, how can this fit again? It worked so well in the past, having someone that I feel like is a partner. And when I say that, like, it's true. It's a partner in spirit. It's a partner in energy. It's a partner in compassion and ideas. This is so uncommon for employees.
Yeah.
To have that extra passion and for it to be so real. I was watching the last podcast that you did, part of it, and explaining to someone that, like, listen to what this man and what Vern is saying, because there's not a single word that they're saying that's not resonating with their heart or that they're not going to back up. Because I watch so much stuff these days and I question, like, is that really happening? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and I've always felt that way, man. You've always done right by me, buddy. Always. I tell anybody, John has always done right by me.
Yeah, and that's been important, and that's some of the reasons why the company's been through some hardships, you know. And I'm so grateful to have the partnership group we do today with Enrique, who you got to spend a lot of time with.
Love
and
him.
yeah, you can feel his heart and his passion and his gratitude for being in this business as well, helping people. But also just having a partner with that creative mindset that he wants to push the limits. We don't want to be good, right?
Yeah.
We want to get to incredible. We want to get to great. We want to figure out what's next.
Yeah, that's why I'm so energized about this new position, this new season of innovation that we're looking at. I'm, the thing I was thinking about when we were discussing it initially, because I've been around so long, and I probably know
Everybody.
HCANA better than most people.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've seen all the iterations and even the other stuff. I'm always transparent, so I kept you posted on like what's up.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
But for us to, and it honestly, it says a lot about you, the fact that you want to create a position where not my sole responsibility, but the bulk of my responsibility is to look at a client's experience from the time they make that first phone call until a year after treatment, and make sure that our theoretical product and our real world product,
and then even 2 years after.
Yeah, endlessly. But the fact, I remember you telling me when I came in, you had to go out of town for personal reasons. But my first week, you said, kick over every rock you can think to kick over. But when I get back, I want to know how we can make it at least 5% better, if not way more than that.
Yep. From your perspective.
So I think it's amazing. I mean, I've never been involved in any other of the programs that I've collaborated with that really, invested in innovation in that way. To have someone, I need you to keep your finger on the pulse of admissions, operations, clinical, and make sure that these clients are having the experience that we want. A variation, because we can't anticipate exactly what their experience is going to be, but the quality is there.
Yeah.
That the quality is there.
Consistency.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited.
Oh no, keep going. I was gonna say, let's get super granular about what you're doing.
We will. Yeah. But when thinking about like my first thought for bringing you back on board was that I don't care what the position is on paper that justifies me bringing this man back on our team. I've got these ideas that I want him to do. So the crazy thing about Jeremy is like he just said yes. What we offered him was the operations director role at Asheville Detox Center. And it was a role that really needed to be filled. But not in the sense of like, you got to be there 24/7. But more in a sense of like, I need a leader over there that shows up, that guides their team, that helps their team grow to fill into these positions. As Jeremy works on client liaison, just quality control, like you said, bro, from very first phone call and what we're saying on that phone call to the intake to the transport process, to the intake process, to when do they get set up with case management, when do they first meet their therapist, when do they first meet their recovery coach, when do they transition, and are they transitioning for their well-being or for insurance purposes, right? And that for me is the most important thing I could hire anyone for. And I don't know a single other person that I've met in the nation that is more suited for that role than you. I mean, our clinicians all respect you. And it's not just because you're cool, that your tattoos are dope, that you're well studied. It's because they know your heart's in the game and you've put in the work to be an incredible clinician. Yeah. That's why they listen.
No, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm super excited. It definitely takes a commitment to intentionality. I mean, this is a very, it's a complicated journey when someone starts their path into treatment.
Yep.
And, without that intention, it can be tough to maintain the level of quality that you want. But like I said, and you and Enrique and all the other partners, like it just says a lot to me that you're willing to allocate the energy and the resources into that, and on a level that's just, at least in my admittedly limited experiences, is unprecedented, man.
It's not really limited though, bro.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you've been out to California, had an investor lined up to start a treatment center out there, the fact that multiple places have offered you ownership and you've tried those out, right? And that's one thing I love about you, bro. It's like, it's not about the money.
No.
It never has been. I got a text from Jeremy last week. He says, one of my people over here at the Detox is absolutely crushing it. I know where we're at. I want to take money out of my salary and I want to give it to this person, right? That's also impressive. That is what's required. If you think about championship basketball teams, right? How many times have some of those players taken a pay cut? Not that we went that route, but that
you wouldn't let me. You wouldn't.
No, of course
not. You
not.
said, no, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, of course not. But at the same time, like, just having that willingness to have the best team, those are the people we need, not the people that are just here for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Those people we quickly kind of move out, because if your heart's not in the game, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I love what you said earlier too. We were just chatting, as we tend to do.
Yep.
And you were talking about how, for you, on paper, a lot of people kind of look at this role that we've come up with as as you described it, a luxury role.
Sure.
And you were like, it's absolutely not a luxury role from my perspective. Say a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the thing that I would say has been so rewarding in different stages of this evolution of the company, and also so challenging in different stages of this organization, is having someone that really meets every client where they're at, understands their story, understands their family dynamics, and is constantly training other people on how to be consistent, on how to have, quality products and services, and adapting as they get in. It's like, we don't get to know someone for the first couple weeks. And then at that point, it's like, we need to have different phases set up, which we do. But the consistency throughout time hasn't always been there. Would the client think the same thing? No. Because the other treatment centers they went to, they always say, we're so blessed for the experience that we had here.
Yeah.
But how important it was for me on that was 1,000. Like, the scale's broken, right? Because if I don't have someone like you that's so well studied and intricate and willing to put in the work for our clients, that's either going to be me or nobody, right? And it's just different with you, your approach from Vern's approach, your approach from John Benton's approach, who's world-class clinician.
Legend.
Just unbelievable where he started with us and where he's at now. He's one of your best friends as well, which makes sense.
Shout out to John.
Yeah, birds of a feather.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. This year, 2025, is the universe is back opened up again for us like it was 2019. With all the right people coming back, new people like Eden coming in, people with this energy, people like Katie over there, Maddie, Joseph. I mean, the team is just incredible.
Yeah. Well, and personally, too, I just had an aha sitting here. Like, the last 18 months of both of our lives have really been about, we've had some victories, and we've had some adversity.
Very much so.
That has really, like, shaped us into very different people. But, our paths diverged during that time.
Yep.
And we went through what we had to go through,
And we still try to stay in touch, though.
Oh, we did.
Even busy people.
Yeah. Oh, I remember
Even
when
if
I was
it's once a month.
Listen, when I was out there in California, we would hop on virtual meetings, just like, hey, how can I help guide you through
That's
this
it.
process.
Yeah.
Before it burst into flames, you were right there,
Yeah,
willing to
yeah.
help, with no interest in it whatsoever,
No.
other than you wanted to see me successful.
I wanted to see you succeed no matter what you did.
Yeah.
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 And I honestly want that for all the staff. That's why you see people like John Benton, come to us really unqualified to do anything. Now one of the most qualified dynamic therapists we have 4 or 5 years later, but came in as a BHT. I remember early on he was fixing the roof for me at one of the men's campuses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
But no, that's who we are as a company.
Yeah.
And I want someone, when they start with us, if we pick the right person, right, they are able to jump off and build a career from it, if that's continue to stay with us, or if they get huge opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah.
Either way, it feels like we had a piece of that person's life to help them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been talking to my staff at ADC, right, and that's one of the things I tell them. Listen, one thing I have been good at is creating value for myself.
I heard you say that the other day, and I was chatting with Enrique about that, and I was like, yeah, that's one of the most true statements.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah. Well, and we want to encourage our staff to think that way too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already started working with them, getting them to think.
And
how
why
can
do
you
you think that's
diversify?
important? Because that's not present in other treatment centers.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important because if you want to create an innovative program, you don't want people thinking in a linear way.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep people, for me, just to be completely honest, I'm not driven by money, but I have bills to pay.
Of course we all do.
So, a standard clinician early on doesn't make all that much money.
Absolutely
So
not.
I was also thinking about, I want to stay in this organization, so how can I create value for myself? Because you're 100% the type of person that if the value's there, every raise I ever got from you, you just gave me. I never
asked one time.
And
Yep.
so I want them thinking in terms of like how they can create value, because it helps innovate the program.
Yep.
And it helps them get what they need financially. It puts them in a much more stable position,
Mm-hmm.
because if you have someone who's dynamic and they've created a lot of value, you're going to hold on to them.
Last thing you want to do is lose them.
Yeah, so I think that it's just a win-win for the organization and the individual to get them thinking a little bit outside the box. Yes, I have this very defined role, but I never thought, I was talking to somebody this morning, I never thought I would be this old guy saying this, but
when you say old guy, are you referring to yourself?
Yes,
because we're young still, bud.
We are.
But man, I
but
feel
a lot of
that
the younger
sometimes.
generation, it seems like I'm gonna just show up and do my job.
And I require a raise every 90 days.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So I try to cultivate that creative thinking with our staff, because that's how you get raises.
Oh, 100%.
Not just doing if you stay around long enough just doing your job, you'll get bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Because and like you said, I appreciate what you were saying. Like, I want the staff to be successful.
Yep.
I want them to feel energized by what they're doing, to be compensated increasingly as they create value for themselves. So right away, and the staff, it's interesting. Everyone that I've sat with, and just like, hey, I want you to know, like, I'm open to this conversations, and they're all like surprised, because they aren't used to companies saying,
no, of course not.
Listen, I would love to mentor you, newer people.
Yep.
And if you decide what avenue you want to take, whether it's admissions, operations, clinical, like whenever you decide that, or if you get curious about that, let me know, because I would love to help you move in that direction.
Yeah, you are insurance billing, all these things. It's I think of so many staff members, but one that started as a BHT with us a long time ago, similar to you, never asked for a raise, never asked for anything. Got moved into case management up at KRC, and then eventually there was an opportunity that came, right? Bringing billing back in-house and giving her the chance to become an insurance biller. That's a full career path that she is getting on our dollar, getting trained classes, everything else, and getting trained by a world-class biller. But these are the stories that is so important to me.
Well, look at this. Our admissions director
was
at BHT.
Yep.
Our director of operations at Oasis, I remember
Client.
5 years ago when he was a client.
All of our operations directors were clients. Yeah. Previously to you coming in, every single one of them clients of Oasis. Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing. It becomes a family, but for me, it's always been about the staff, right? Because I can only do so much. I'm only so smart. I'm good. I don't bat at 100%. Nobody does. Bat about 80%. But if I can pick the right people with the right amount of diversity that focus on inclusion for our clients and focus on individualized programming and having a safe therapeutic environment, that's my job.
Yeah.
My job is to make sure you guys are okay, the staff.
Yeah.
And that's your job too now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is, and it's Vern's job.
Well, you've always been that way in a sense that even when things have been at their absolute best,
you'll
sit somebody down and say, "How can we do better?"
Oh yeah. It's
how
never
can
good
we
enough.
do better? We don't need to rest on our laurels.
No.
Everything is jamming right now. Even during those periods where we were absolutely firing on all cylinders, you're still curious about any ideas of how we can do better.
Yeah, just pushing the limits.
Love that, pushing the envelope. Yeah. I mean,
And I think in that first meeting, not to jump around too much, bro, but I'm pretty sure what I told you is I want to build a national brand.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said.
That raises the bar for what's acceptable in treatment.
Yeah.
And one thing I can be very proud of, and I've been reminded of this because I don't normally look at things or be proud of different things because my brain is always thinking about what's next, and I look back and it is nice to see the culture shift that we've created in the Asheville market. Seeing some of the, more iffy programs close down, and then watching others adapt as well.
Yeah.
So now I know, like, there's a better product going on over here. There's a better product going on over here. There's a better product going on over here. Whereas prior in town, from my perspective, everyone was kind of doing the same thing. 30 days, heavy AANA, which is great. I highly recommend it. But not having those experiential options, the very mindful options, bringing in any type of modality we can try, right? Like, I didn't know what holotropic breathwork was before I started this journey.
Yeah.
Or transcendental breathwork or psychodrama. And all these things now, like, I'm well studied on, mainly because we've tried absolutely everything anyone's passionate about. If any staff member comes to me and says, I'm passionate about this, and I think this will work for clients, you know me.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Oh, yeah.
And if it doesn't work, we'll cut it quick.
Yeah.
But when it does, then we just add another tool to our arsenal that we can share with clients.
Yeah.
And it might just resonate with one or two.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what do you think moving forward? Like, looking at the end of 2025, I can't believe what month we're already in. I can't believe how deep we are, we're in Q3. It's crazy. But looking at the end of this year, wrapping it up, and moving into next year, what are some of your biggest goals for the organization?
I kind of see, it's a good question. From my perspective, I kind of see it a kind of a twofold path. First one being, as we talked about, just taking the level of intentionality and quality control to a level that we just haven't seen before. And that I don't think anyone is really applying to their program.
I've never seen it nationally.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. And I mean, I've seen some really good programs.
Yeah, for sure.
I was in family too.
Yeah. So I think that, and just me being just really meticulous about collaborating with all the different departments, And, I want to bring back things like, remember before, to mitigate burnout, I was coming in doing groups with the admissions
What's
teams.
mandatory, bro?
Yeah, for sure. And
it's
so,
like if our people, and of course we've had relapse, right, within our staff.
Yeah.
I think every organization does, because a lot of them were past clients.
Yeah.
I look at our admissions team, and we got 3 down there that were past clients or past clients of partnering programs, and every single one of them's in recovery.
Yeah.
So I was so excited to hear from Marie that you guys plan to come back in and do some work. I think it's next month.
Yeah.
But monthly self-care.
Yeah.
Like not just, it's just so required.
Yeah, it was so effective when we did it before. I mean,
my goodness.
So I want to bring that back. So, that being there's just so much in that side of the twofold path of just, making sure that we're mitigating burnout. The quality control is just, as intense as I can get it. And then the other side, the other path for me looks like going through the clinical programming and the coaching and how we can elevate those two. And also a big passion project of mine at this point is what are discovering, and I have a lot of ideas, more will be revealed. We've talked about some of them, ways that on an unprecedented level ADC and Oasis can collaborate because we're siblings.
Yeah, we're very much siblings, and we, ADC serves the community, right? We're the only detox in town. It's a beautiful location. We serve most of the local treatment centers for their detox, and we love that.
Love that. I love collaborating. Shout out to all the treatment centers we do collaborate with. They're wonderful. We make sure
there's such good centers.
Yeah, when the clients come, and we make sure we have our releases, and I've collaborated, and I know all of them anyway, so it makes
every single one of them.
Well, it makes it seamless. Anytime I have any challenges, I call them. It works.
And it's not like you just know them. Like I know them too.
Yeah,
you have deep relationships with most of them.
Yeah. Most of them.
Yeah.
But I also, and this is gonna what my vision is actually gonna benefit their clients too, and just the clients that just come to us that aren't referred from any kind of program.
Yeah, because I would say at least ADC, 60%. They call Oasis.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that they need detox, right?
Yeah.
They don't. Well, if it's a first time or second time or third time, they don't know what they need.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to get on. Is I need help with training admissions, right? And that's another thing in the back of my mind that I'm stoked to have you for.
Yeah.
Because it's a clinical conversation from the first touch to the very end.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're at one of our campuses, at a different sober living we work with, after clinical hours at Oasis. It's like every single component of the program, it has to be clinically driven, and it has to be a very safe place.
Yeah.
Where people are seen and no one's ever discriminated on.
Yeah.
I don't know over the years how many people I've let go because I felt like there was some sort of lack of inclusion. It's just something I don't accept.
Yeah.
Because, at 2 weeks sober, you're allowed to be a train wreck. You're allowed to be a tornado.
Yeah.
But as a staff, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check in, be the voice of reason. Yeah.
I always joke and say, be careful, because when you get on John's list, it's very difficult to get off of it.
Yeah.
I myself have made it on there and off. One of the few.
Yeah.
One of the few. But there's a lot of things you don't. I don't want it to sound harsh because you're not that way, but there's a lot of things you don't tolerate, man. And if people bring that energy, you're quick to say, hey, I wish you the best, but this isn't the place for you.
Yeah.
So I've always appreciated that. But
some of them have been hard.
Oh,
I'm talking like really good clinicians, but I'll tell you one thing that destroys an organization is backbiting.
Yeah.
Is talking. Let's say I'm talking to Will, right, who runs our full media department, and I'm saying, I'm so pissed off at Jeremy for not doing this or that. Like, he's not pulling his weight, so I'm going to have to cover him. You know, and when I hear these different things from staff, I'm like, talk to him. Yeah. You know, or we're going to all talk together.
Yeah.
But backbiting for me, I even added it to the employee handbook. Yeah. Backbiting or talking negatively about a colleague, it's grounds for termination.
Yeah, and that's a big piece of my quality control vision is, and that speaks to like the collaboration. I mean, we already collaborate extensively between Oasis and ADC, but like, I want the culture to be continuous.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that, which is understandable, we're all busy, right? So, but when I got to ADC and I realized some of the staff there really didn't know any of the staff at Oasis, I was like, this isn't going to work.
No.
So, you know, bringing that the two families
we
together.
Might as well be mission at that point.
No, for sure. And bringing them in to one whole family, that's a piece of it too. So yeah, by the end of 2025, you know, some of the innovation to I know I use that word a lot, but it's something that I really that resonates with me. So innovation throughout our programs, and what I mean by that is creating something fresh, man.
Yeah.
I think getting
back to basics.
Well, I think it's okay that like collectively as an industry that we sit down together and just all admit we can do better. We can do better. I mean,
and I have a group of about 5 friends that own treatment centers nationally that are on the same wavelength. Yeah. You know, they're trying to figure out how to get better.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And we have conversations like, what are you doing? I make time for, Zoom meeting with my boy up in Kansas City. He owns a wonderful program up there. Got a boy down in Arizona, same thing, good friend. Trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
And those conversations are so enlightening. But
well, it's rare that people prioritize that. I mean, I spent about a year and a half doing some consulting, and the only shot I ever had, one of the things was, helping innovate and train clinicians to do like dynamic groups. And usually the people at the top, the only way that you have a shot at getting them to buy in is if you start talking about AMA rates and unused days and tie that into a quality clinical program.
Sure.
Then you can get your foot in the door. Otherwise, if you start talking about just having so the client has a meaningful experience and, they'll shake their heads and, we'll let you know.
Sounds good. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, but
No, you're right, and it's interesting. You're of that intelligence level that you know how to package something for other folks. With me, you don't have to package it.
Yeah. I know.
One thing I love about us is it's just clear communication, and that's the one thing for the organization that I learned from this was like the main mantra for the CEO of Kipu, right? And Kipu's our EMR. It's a lot of our EMRs in this industry. People use it, and CRMs. And I've been so blessed to be able to have one-on-one meetings with this gal who's ran Fortune 500 companies, right? And who's innovating with Kipu, a multi-billion-dollar company, right? And her heart's in the game.
Yeah.
You can tell. And this is her last kind of journey, in her words, within the professional space. But I know at any given time, since we've connected and we resonate on the fact that we both care about success levels, care about stuff in the industry, is I can reach out to her at any time and say, do you have any advice on this point, right? And this is a leader of a large organization. I've had the opportunity to play golf and chat with the CEO of Pyramid Healthcare, right? Ran by a big VC, but I'll tell you what, the guy cares, and it's been so valuable for me on that side to pick their brains. But then oftentimes just getting back to what I originally got in the industry for. And for me, that's hiring and finding the right people. I couldn't tell you how many text messages, phone calls I sent off, and I waited until it was 100%, even that I knew, like after we met, officially met on the job, that it was going to happen. But right when I knew for sure it was going to happen, the amount of exciting texts I sent off that Jeremy Stalls was coming back and the change that's going to make, and then you getting the opportunity to spend time with Enrique, and then him getting as excited, is what we're about, man. We want superstars.
Yeah.
And we also want to build superstars. Because there's a lot of talented clinicians in the industry that get put in the box.
Yeah.
Make sure your notes are right. These are the groups we do here. Stay in your lane, and clock on at 9, go home at 5.
I want mad scientists.
Yeah, me too.
I want mad scientists.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. Like you are. You know, like JB's become.
Yeah.
Like Vern is on this magical spiritual way.
Yeah.
You just feel her passion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm excited, man.
What about 26? I mean, so a little bit about 25. Where do you see our clinical program going, or maybe even like experiential program? Because for me, I've noticed, and this has changed now as of late, but for a while, like we're just doing basic stuff, taking the clients get their nails done if they're females, going bowling, skate, basic stuff.
Yeah.
But we've always been the type of program that pushes the bar.
Yeah. I love. I definitely want to bring back. I used to do pretty regularly.
Exactly where my head was at.
Volunteer only, of course, because of how rigorous it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I would take groups out. I jokingly, it might sound a little dark, so it was jokingly. We called them death marches.
They are.
So we would go on like 15 miles with about
20-mile hikes,
3,000 feet elevation gain. So I definitely want to bring some of that stuff back. Blue sky.
It's coming back. That's one of the things, because I remember some of the feedback from some of those people that had the opportunity to experience those journeys.
Yeah.
And pushing through a 15-mile hike with, 30 days of sobriety, maybe your body's still not feeling good. But really exploring, getting into the present moment just to power through that. That builds confidence.
And and that's a microcosm of life too. I think they realize that, you got the terrain changes, and there's times where you're like, what the hell am I doing this for?
We're in a rainforest. You never know what's going to rain.
I just want to give up, and they can surmount all of that. But yeah, blue sky. I don't know if this is 2026. I know you always encourage me to be like grandiose.
Always.
We talked about,
and when you say blue sky, explain.
Dream.
Yeah.
Like this is like
perfect situation.
Yeah, perfect situation. Yeah. I would like,
pretty much Laguna Beach weather.
Yes. and the tweaks and adjustments that we're thinking about making to the coaching program. I'd like our program that every single person that comes through has that level of support.
Oh gosh, it'd be so good.
Figuring out how the logistics of that. This is blue sky now. I don't know if it's 2026.
It could be.
But just imagine if we could innovate to where, because I'll tell you the reason why when I designed the coaching program to work within Oasis, the thing that I love the most about it is, like if I had a client that came in, and let's say they were in detox, of course I'm going to see them at detox before they ever get to Oasis.
Yeah, this is when you worked at Oasis.
Yeah, while they were at Oasis, really, beyond all the other support, it basically gives the client an advocate.
Exactly.
Which is what I loved, because I could, I kept my eyes on that person, and I was noting, okay, what they were responding to, what they weren't responding to. So I was able to, I had the leeway to make tweaks and adjustments. I can think of many times someone was slated to, they were with us, say 6 months. They were slated to do 45 days PHP. And I would spend enough time with this person, and I would watch their trajectory through our program. At like day 32, I would pivot transition them into structured sober living,
Sure.
starting IOP, because they're
If
starting.
they're ready.
Well, they're starting to lose momentum,
Yeah,
or whatever it is.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Whatever it is, and I love that we didn't say, well, no matter what, this person's got 13 days left,
No.
because I would feel, this person may lose a little bit of momentum if we dig our heels in and require that they stay that additional 13 days. We have the structure.
Mm-hmm.
This person's going to be with us a long term, so it's not like they're going home.
Right.
And I would love that we could just customize everything in that way. And I think it made all the difference in some cases.
Yeah.
Because it was always funny. My clients, I'd say, how are you around day 20, 25? I'm like, so how are we feeling? Because I let them know in the beginning, let me know, because nothing's etched in stone in terms of like the next 6 months.
Never.
So always let me know where you're at, and if tweaks and adjustments, we feel that it's going to be in their best interest, we make them like that.
Yeah.
And I would love every single client to have, and a lot of the staff there are already thinking about those things, but not to that level. And and it's not like there's one person that's paying super close attention to that. And
now there is.
Yes. Yeah.
Now there is. Yeah.
And that's what I loved about the coaching program, and I want to get to that. I'm sitting here. I'm so passionate about like what we do. I'm sitting here. My phone's going off in my pocket.
Oh, mine's blowing up.
I'm melting down. I'm melting down.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, somebody might need something.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And I pick it up, and and I'm always available for staff. For if they call me, and I hyper focus on different things where I think we need the most work, and that frustrates me a little bit, because it's like, let's say that I so trust our marketing department for what they're doing, I sometimes check in a little bit less, and then I jump from department to department where I think the energy is needed or where it's needed at the center.
I have to make a call.
Yeah,
Graham
do it.
just
Absolutely.
called me from ADC 3 times.
Yeah, do it.
Let's put it on pause.
For the 3 again, just read them off.
Yeah, let me make sure this is rolling real quick. We're good. Okay, so it's going to be why HCANA is better and why it's different for the client and their experience. Going to hit on inclusion again and why that's important for the client's experience. And then just a comprehensive overview of what HCANA brings to the table. And that can be everything from like, adventure therapy to the fact that it's all in a pipeline to the fact that
No, yeah, I got you.
Whatever you guys want to touch on.
I got you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty straightforward. It doesn't need to be a whole conversation. I think.
No.
We can make this.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah, because
My
I got a 2 o'clock group.
Yeah,
Okay,
my phone's
we got
been
a little
blowing up.
Same.
Cool. And you guys are you're good. So whenever you guys.
All right. Yeah. So one major factor, Jeremy, when I think about the difference between HCANA and other organizations, Healthcare Alliance as a whole, and to start with, like, we downsized, right? We downsized because I felt like we were becoming more like others, less individualized. But from the very top to any employee, one thing that is very much different about us is we have to communicate and see every human on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if we have a BHT with an incredible idea, but we got to find out, and I just think the fact that I've been on this wave before, back when we started, and seeing the staff, seeing that available staff come back, or new staff be hired, or staff that we've had for a while evolve. Personally, what's different about HCANA is our staff. Go to KRC and tell me there's a better program for detox and res staff-wise in Knoxville. There's not. I mean, there's just not. And then when we get into Oasis and Asheville Detox, Asheville's blessed. There's a lot of good treatment centers.
Yeah.
I think the thing that makes us different is flexibility.
Yeah.
When I think about having I had a client recently flying from Dubai on his personal jet, and we had to do a lot of stuff, and that's on the executive model program that we We do. We serve the indigent population to the executive models, to the 1%ers. That's different about us.
Yeah.
Normally, you have a program that's focused on executives or the Medicaid stuff. But how we offset it is we have available scholarships for those folks that need it, and then we also serve this other demographic. And it's so wonderful getting them all in a group at some point and realizing, dang, my brain patterns aren't that much different than this other gentleman.
Yeah.
I just had a different upbringing, a different opportunity growing up, than they may have had. But the difference for me, the biggest difference for me with HCANA versus other organizations is the constant and relentless search for innovation.
Yeah.
And it never stops.
Yeah.
And it never will. Either we are growing as people, as an organization, and when I say growing, I'm talking about growth. I'm not talking about new centers, this and that, and sure we'll get to that. I'm talking about internal growth via every staff member.
Yeah.
And then what they're bringing to the table. But what do you think makes us different, Jeremy?
I mean, the first thing that popped in my mind was literally the same thing. I think we definitely don't operate from there's very few areas, because there are some, right? But there's very few areas that we operate from a static, rigid position.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I could give you 100 examples where we've identified a specific need a client has. It was like really outside of the box. Mm-hmm. And we always say, can we do this?
We try.
What's it going to take to do this? I mean, as you know, I've done some wild things with clients. I don't know how many treatment centers around here have taken a client to Kathmandu, Nepal. That's
real though.
That's extreme. Yeah. I mean, that's like the craziest outside.
But that
the
is
box.
available, and you've taken other executive model clients after they graduated, contract you down to Costa Rica for a week. Like you've done things with people that have come through that you do not find in other treatment centers.
Yeah.
And I want more of our staff to be open to that. I want more clinicians that have built a relationship with their clients to be open to having a big, call it spiritual, clinical journey at the end of their treatment, right?
Yeah.
If that be a coach, if that be their primary, whoever they're most comfortable with or resonate with. Yeah. And then, if it's within reason and resource-wise, we'll try it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we don't say no.
Well, that's a big thing that's different. And I agree with you. I mean, the people. And yeah, just the collection of people that we have is different.
Yeah.
The creativity, the outside the box thinking.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like, and I love this industry. It's my calling. It's actually, strangely enough, it's one of the more conservative institutions that I've come across in terms of what.
For sure.
Yeah. It's very cookie cutter for the most part. There are people out there doing wonderful work. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna sit here and also say, well, HCANA is the only people that are doing good work.
Of course not.
Because we know that's not true.
No, it's not. Yeah.
But it's very conservative.
And we love that. That's what we want.
That's it. But it's very conservative.
Yep.
So I think that's what, to reiterate, that's the biggest thing that makes us different. We are anything but conservative in that way.
Oh yeah.
We've had some far out. Some of the conversations were so far out. We were like, yeah, we can't do that. But that's rare.
But we have those conversations.
Yeah.
We never say no. It's like we will get together as a team and make a decision. It's not just me saying yes or no, or Jeremy saying yes or no.
Well, some of the things we've tried, and it was like, yeah, that doesn't work. I remember early on, we tried, we did it. We were like, you know what? Let's see how it goes. Mm. We had a couple come to Oasis.
Sure.
You remember that?
And the thing is, I would still try it here and there. You know what I mean? Because every couple is different. We've had a couple go to KRC before, and it worked just fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're separate while you're in treatment.
Yeah.
you gotta stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, at Oasis that did not work.
Yeah.
And have we had a couple of cents? No.
No. This was in the very beginning.
I know.
But I honestly, I liked it within reason, right?
Sure.
Because if it's,
Try it.
there are, factors that we're like, we as much as we would like to try that, we just can't.
Yep.
So we have gone down that road before because we're not, we do factor in very important considerations. But yeah, I love that. And, I mean, those are the two factors I think that really make us different. And those are, and from my perspective, there can't be two bigger factors than that.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I mean, the company's ran by, and I never talk about this. This will be the first time I ever say this on camera. But our company is ran by, I identify as a socially conscious capitalist. And people can take that poorly, right? But what I mean by that is I feel as though within our ecosystem, we have to be profitable so that way I can take care of my team, right? I can send them to more trainings. I can help them with their self-care by sending them on trips. We can raise their salaries. I've watched so many people that had nothing before starting to work here now buy houses, buy the car they want, have the stability that they need in their life, not live paycheck to paycheck. That's who the company's ran by. A hyper focus on a social cause. And in order to do so, you do have to be conscious on the, monetary side. But the beautiful thing is on that side, we are so conservative.
Yeah.
Like we are not in the gray. We would never even touch the gray area because there's no point, right? No. So either we're providing an incredible product that people are paying for, or insurance is paying for, right? And our beds stay full like they normally do. Or we're taking advantage of the system, which a lot of places have done over the years, and it's just not something we would dabble in. But then on the other side of the spectrum, we are so open-minded, so it's like, yes, we're hyper-focused on compliance and never being gray there. But then on the other side, it's just a melting pot of wonderful humans communicating in that boardroom over to Oasis about like what we can do better. Yeah. What new innovative, modalities we can bring. Yeah. But that's the biggest stuff for me.
Yeah, and I think about it like we're not talking about reinventing the wheel.
No.
We're talking about taking the wheel and how can we push the envelope on what a wheel is?
Sure.
And that's, I love that.
Me too.
I get so energized. I'm excited for the future, man. I really am. And what I do know for sure is, and I don't know a lot for sure, but what I do know for sure,
I feel that
based on my experience is, 2026, we can. I always like aiming at things because, if you want to hit something, you got to aim at it. But it's likely going to look better than we imagine. There's going to be some unforeseen,
I think so too.
Unforeseen doors opening up. And to me, that's the exciting part. I do like to make plans, but I do know, oftentimes, if I do the next right thing, if we prioritize what's most important,
in the moment,
it's going to be better than what the plans are.
Isn't that wild? And that's about just suiting up, showing up. That's basic recovery stuff. Yeah. Right? But it works just the same for a business. Like suiting up, showing up, and every day doing the best you can, however that looks. Yeah. And I truly believe we have about 90% of our overall HCANA staff checks that box. Yeah. I think in a normal organization, a good one, it's about 60%. Yeah. And thankfully, we're small enough to where percentages are easier to hit that mark.
I feel like if you get the human side right, the financial side takes care of itself. And
I've always said that, right?
Yeah. You take care of your
people don't feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, you take care of your people, and if you take care of your people, they take wonderful care of the clients.
Of course.
And guess what? you know, the money takes care of itself.
It always does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always does. And I didn't really know in getting in this industry about anything. I didn't know it could support my family, right? It was a passion project. I always thought I would have to do real estate development on the side.
Yeah.
Always. But then when learning the intricacies of this business, first of all, it can, have rewards on that side. But the rewards for me, man, are the notes that I get from families, are the emails I get occasionally, the feedback from the staff, like that they're happy, they're filled up doing what they do, that they don't plan on going anywhere or want to go anywhere. I think 2026 for us is going to be the most innovative year we've ever had. Between my partnership with Enrique, Danny, and the new team that's coming together, there's opportunities that are already on the table that we're being very patient for. I think it's going to be by far the most innovative and exciting year we've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's just because the staff's finally falling in place to make that happen.